Hello everyone, it's Julian from BD Cosmos, and we're back to do another top 10 books to subscribe to. So I have been away for the last 2 weeks. I've been fairly sick, and I'd like to thank my staff for covering me while I was away. You guys have been doing a fantastic job, and I really appreciate it. But it doesn't mean we can't stay away forever, as much as we'd like sometimes. But the reality is, it's another month, and we have to look at another 10 books that look really interesting to subscribe to. So as we usually do, we're going to look at, in this first video, 5 of the independent type series of books, and in the next video we'll be doing 5 of the Marvel DC superheroic type books that will be coming out. And the second video also has the obligatory trip paperback that I recommend picking up, and this particular month has an interesting one that I didn't think myself I'd pick up, but looks pretty good, and I feel it's good enough to share with other people. So as always, we are using Managed Comics 2.0 over at bdcosmos.com to look at the books to subscribe to. And so here is on this page itself, and over here we're looking at the May 2022 Solicitations. So in theory, these books come out in July of 2022, but with all the delays and paper shortages and trucker shortages to get the products moved around, a lot of the books already have been delayed from this on previews. I hopefully chose books that are supposed to come out in July of 2022, and with the FOCs that you can see on our page to see which date there is the due date to pick them up. That doesn't mean that things can't get delayed again, and it doesn't mean that it won't actually release at all. Some books have been completely canceled to be resolicited as a separate time. So hopefully we'll look at 10 books today that you and I feel that are interesting enough to pick up. So let's start off with our first independent book of this month. It's a pretty interesting one. It's called Promethee 1313. So this is coming out of Ablaze, and it is a prequel to a horror sci-fi series of novels written by Christopher Beck. I've never heard of the Promethee series, but the 1313 is a prequel to it. And I say horror / science fiction because the science fiction aspect is something that's happening at the back of on the dark side of the moon, where there's the shuttle Atlantis is going towards the dark side of the moon to figure out what's happening. And then there's this person, the main character, Darla, who is now being pursued by a cult group who think that she is going to be their savior for the apocalypse. And it has to do with 1313 because it's the moments that happened before September 21st, 2019 at 1:13 p.m. So if you are either a horror fan or a science fiction fan, or heck, if you are a huge fan of the Promethee series of books, I've never heard of them, but the premise itself really seemed interesting, and I think it might be for you people out there who are interested in this kind of premise story miniseries, to be sure, might be worth picking up. Again, you can just click on subscribe to series or pre-order a specific cover if you like, and you can see there are multiple different covers that are available. Then once you hit the incentives, there will be fees because we need to order the books to compensate, and so we'll let you know how many we need to get to that number and what are the price for those books. Of note, the writer is Andy Diggle, is kind of known. It says The Loser's Thief of Thieves. He's done a lot of Vertigo stuff, so Hellblazer, and The Losers is a really prominent series. Jock is on this for some reason. I didn't. The Sean Martinborough, I'm not a huge. No, it's not someone I know of, but Andy Diggle in particular is a British writer I know of. So it seems pretty interesting, and so this would be a book to pick up. Next up, we've got a new slash ongoing series for Bloodborne. This one's called Lady of Lanterns. So how this works with Titan Comics is usually they do 4-issue miniseries on a regular basis. So their Blade Runner stuff has been 4 issues into a 4-issue into a 4-issue, but the story continues constantly. And so if you're a fan of the Bloodborne universe, this is a brand new starting on point in the fictional world of Bloodborne as a comic book series. So with this particular issue, you can start off with a brand new writer who's on it, who is one of our favorite writers at the store, Cullen Bunn. The most successful book we've had with Cullen Bunn was Lucky Devil and Basilisk. It was a huge success for the stores. So if you've read either of those novels, those series, or he's written a lot of other stuff that we've been pushed in the last 2 years. On the independent side, he's done a lot of Marvel and DC stuff back in the day. But if you're a fan of his writing or a fan of Bloodborne, maybe it's a great time to pick up this Bloodborne ongoing series. Once in Future Grail Pack. This is the equivalent to what they've done with some of these Killing the Children, these slaughter packs. So these are reprinting issues into sealed packages. This is issue 1 through 6 of Once in Future. So Once in Future is currently on its final arc. Issue 25 just released, and that is the final issue for the arc. So now there'll be the final time you'll be able to pick up a first print of a number 1. I think the last printing was a 6th print, possibly 7th printing for Once in Future. So this is definitely a great time to be picking up a number 1, and then you'll be able to pick up all these Grail packs at least until issue 18. So you'll have at least 3 packs of Grail packs to pick up all the issues. Now, we've sold a lot of trades, a lot of hardcovers for Once in Future. So if you're interested in picking up in them as single issues instead, this is a fantastic time to be able to pick them up. Of note for people who are interested, this is a Kieran Gillen series. So the same writer is doing Immortal X-Men and another series that we'll be looking at later on. So Dark Spaces Wildfire. This is from Scott Snyder, and this is one of the new IDW series of creator-owned books. So IDW this month, for the July solicitations, have announced they're doing I think like a half a dozen, if not a dozen, creator-owned titles that they're working with. And so Scott Snyder, even though he's worked with Image and obviously DC for many, many years, but his creator-owned stuff, he's giving them this one series, Dark Spaces Wildfire, which is a sort of a crime heist book. It's based on a group of female penitentiaries / firefighters. So they are dealing with, this is probably like in California area where there's a giant wildfire, and they're fighting against this wildfire. And one of the female members in the group is a white collar convict, and one of her past dealings, their mansion is right around the area. So their choices are to either keep fighting the fire or go get the riches that one person in the group is promising in the mansion, but they could die from it because of the wildfires. So it's more of a heist book, but it's still kind of interesting because with the dynamic. One, they're all prisoners, and 2, they're fighting the wildfire, and so it'll be the intense moment of like the decision. Obviously, the decisions are going. My belief is they're going to fight to go to the mansion, because what else would the series be about if they're not going to do it? But it'll be the dynamic of the fighting the fire at the same time as trying to get their treasures. And who knows at the end if they'll still, either survive, make it, get or lose members. So that'll be the intrigue behind it. And so, plus, it's not often that we recommend IDW series, but since it's a creator-owned book and it's Scott Snyder's, really well known, might be worth picking up this book. The final book that we want to recommend this month is called Starhenge. It's from Liam Sharp. It's also from Image. It is a 6-book mini-series, and the pitch is really simple. It's time-traveling Merlin who has to deal with killer robots. So think Terminator V, I want to say Merlin, but magic, honestly. And so, it is a science fiction slash time story, but with really crazy art. I'm just gonna move this around so you can look at the idea. So you can find this over at previewsworld.com if you look at the Starhenge book. A lot of people have already subscribed to this, and Liam Sharp is doing the art as well as writing it. Image has like a plethora of covers for the book as well. Rachel and I thought this book looked amazing, to be quite honest. The art itself is gorgeous, and then the concept was really out there as a science fiction novel. And again, a lot of people have already subscribed to this book. Even I believe myself, I'm subscribed to it. But the art is fabulous, and the concept where we get to the spaceship here, Starhenge, honestly, it looks really intriguing. And as you know, I'm a huge science fiction fan myself. And so this book honestly spoke to me, and it spoke to a lot of us. So if there's so many people who subscribe to it, honestly, I feel vindicated recommending it as a fantastic title to pick up. So Starhenge here. Yeah, so I am subscribed to it. And like I mentioned, there's a plethora of different covers that are available. So if you like to so if I modify my series, you can subscribe to the main cover if you like. That's what my decision was. But I can definitely see people pick up the F cover or the H cover, and so you can subscribe and fulfill with main if there's not available for the following issues. I don't know about the following issues, obviously, this time. But it looks like a fantastic series, and I honestly highly recommend Starhenge. Well, that was it. That was already 5 books that we're looking at picking up in July of 2022. Is there a series that you think that we missed out? Because there's certainly a lot of other books that felt really interesting to picking up on the independent side of things. Feel free to let us know down below in the comments, and share this video with your friends and colleagues if they're looking for independent titles because they're not really in the superhero genre. Thank you so much as well, and we'll see each other real soon. Enjoy have yourself a wonderful evening, and we'll see you soon.